70 days in using the Gerson therapy. I learned a lot today, and I want to go over that. Before that, we're just going to get the picture. You can see the little dude. I think smaller. Maybe that's wishful thinking. It's looser. It's like more clunky than it had been. Now, I'm still doing the juices, I'm pretty much sticking to the plan. A couple of things I learned today. So I went to see a chiropractor who does muscle testing along with kinesiology and all this new stuff. PEMF mat. I'm saying it wrong, but it's a mat. Pulse magnetic electrotherapy. And a whole bunch of other stuff, which maybe I'm not clear enough to think about right now. What I want to talk about is with the muscle testing, the doctor was able to identify, maybe, it seems that way, that there are some supplements that I don't need to be taking, like my body's not needing them, and maybe some others that I might need. Now, what was interesting is we were just discussing like root causes of what might cause something like this, like what would continue to push the tumor. So a couple of things. Tomorrow is July 11th. It's my birthday, and I'm going to have the other mercury amalgam filling removed, and I'm going to have this tooth pulled out because it's a root canal tooth, and I think there is. I prayed about it. I believe I have a check about it that there's something wrong in there with that tooth, and so we're just going to get it removed. The plan right now is a zirconium implant to hold the space in the teeth and then put eventually a tooth back on, which is a big expensive mess. But if you got something really bad in you, you probably should get it taken out. So that's the plan. Get the tooth removed, get the last mercury amalgam filling cleaned out. We'll buy a biological dentist, so it's all going to be removed properly and safely. Also, what I learned was with the muscle testing, my body is purging out the mercury properly. Like I don't really have any symptoms. I don't have any weaknesses from the metal toxicity that could occur, but it also is still all involved in this space, which means I still have some weakness. Like there's a weakness here and here for some reason. So in review of what was muscle tested, we're a group of all kinds of different viruses that one of which is the Epstein-Barr virus. And in testing, it weakened me. If you don't know anything about muscle testing, I'm just going to tell you to Google it because I'm not an expert and I certainly don't know quite enough yet to explain it completely. But what I would tell you is simply you can tell there's a weakness, there's a weakened response. And if you know that much, you can Google it and figure it out. So with me, that Epstein-Barr virus caused this weakness. And there were some other things too that were causing a weakness, but that was a significant one. And so with some research, it's interesting. There's some ideas out there that the root cause, the Epstein-Barr virus itself, is what causes things like mono, which I've had. I had it in college a couple of times, but I remember having a good stint of 6-8 weeks of just being dead to the world. No energy, no effort, no brain fog, no energy to go to school, to go to classes, pay attention. And I remember going through that. I remember being in a Taekwondo class because I was pretty active, pretty fit, and really struggling, like getting so lightheaded that I couldn't make it through the class. And so when this was brought up, I was like, oh, I remember mono. And then I'm flashing back. I'm like, at 19, I had shingles, bad, like all over my face, huge weakness. What do you get shingles from? Chickenpox. Where did the chickenpox come from? It might be Epstein-Barr. It might be the root cause of all of those things. Now, what's interesting is when the muscle testing was going on today, Epstein-Barr seem to be isolated in this area, almost like can Epstein-Barr create, you know, a nodule, a tumor like that, a mass. And so that's what I'm looking into. And it's a very interesting thing because there are other people out there that have had Epstein-Barr for 10 years, which would pretty much fit me, 10, 12 years, with mono, with shingles, with these severe times of no energy. And so in states of weakness, right, like lack of sleep, high stress situation, like prolonged high stress, the Epstein-Barr can kind of reactivate, I guess is maybe the right word, and cause more problems. So that's where I'm at. That's my update. It's day 70. I want to say, I think the last one was day 55, which really stinks. But in between those two gaps, I've been going through, I'm more than halfway through the parasite cleanse with the Dr. Clark parasite cleanse, and in the process, I've just seen worms coming out every day. Like, not, you know, like full intact worms, but casings, like, you know, they're dying and they're being, I don't know, partially digested or whatever happens between where they die and as they come out. But definitely more, you know, particles of worms coming out, which is a good thing. Like, they should be coming out. That's according to plants. So that's a good thing. But 15 days of it, you get tired of seeing them. Another part of a cool conversation was with the doctor today was that it's not just parasites. Like, worms are a parasite, obviously, but there's other things. There's like liver flukes. There's much smaller parasites. There's kind of parasites in all kinds of things. And with the idea of, like, our bodies have, I'm just going to throw a number. It might not be right, but like, let's say our body has 75 trillion cells. Best guesses, estimates, maybe that we are have maybe around 10 times that in viruses. So whatever 10 times 75 trillion is, then you can 10 to 100x that when it comes to something else. Maybe I'll think of it in a little bit. But anyway, the number of viruses floating around you is a lot. And so the Epstein-Barr could be one of them. It seems likely, like I have the symptoms, I have kind of a history with that goes back. And what it brings us to is, hey, there's some potential solutions. One of them, it sounds like colloidal silver is a good thing at minimizing the, I guess they're, you know, viruses are like protein pieces. So it's kind of hard to isolate one because there's so many. But having the right things, the good nutrition, like Gerson's doing, and then having the colloidal silver and a little bit of other support can help your body purge them out naturally. Like, the whole goal is get the body healthy. If the body's healthy, then it can fight off everything that, you know, it needs to. So that's my update. That's where things are at. I wish I was a little bit more clear, but I'm going to stop and go to bed because it's day 70 and I've been up for a long time, and tomorrow I'm going to get the tooth pulled out. So hopefully I'll give you an update then. Until then, may God bless you. Keep praying. Well, you know, he knows what he's doing. He could zap this. I mean, he could take it away if he wanted to right now. But I think he's chosen to take me down this path of learning all about all kinds of things to support my body that it might benefit you. Yeah, that's my take right now. Hey, God bless you. Have a great night.